talk about our. Hi, thank you so very much for joining us today as we discuss and answer questions about our wonderful school, TerraSchola, and the wonderful opportunities that we have to offer for you and your children. So, TerraSchola is a virtual K 12 virtual school, and what we are doing is combining. Um, Structured education with certified teachers and blending into a homeschool experience that you would normally have. So it takes away the stress that a lot of parents have when they first go into homeschooling of building curriculums, building lesson plans, taking attendance, giving out instructions with their children, doing transcripts and all the formal documentation that you need in a traditional school when you give it to the state. What we do, we handle all that. We'll provide instruction and also help with one on one attention to details of your child's education. So I'm just going to go ahead and start answering some questions that were already kind of dropped into me through our website. So I'm just going to go ahead and answer some of those questions. So one question was, how does the virtual school curriculum align with local state standards? So what we are actually viewing is we are going to be following Washington state standards because they actually have one of the very detailed state standards in part of the union. So we're going to be following that, but we also encourage our families to look up of any other standards that needs to be addressed based on their state requirement and let we work with that to make sure that the student gets as much education and make sure they're mastering all standards that they need to be successful, and not just in the state of Washington, but any state that that child resides in. This is a national school, so we're all over the United States, but we want to make sure that we are following each state's directive when it comes to schooling, especially through a kind of a homeschool co-op kind of situation. The other question was what kind of sources and supports available for parents who choose to go into this program with us? So, one of the other things that we like to do is we like to have the one on one attention. We provide live instruction. So, Monday through Thursday, how we will have our schedules kind of set up is by having certain classes meet at certain times. That also gives the flexibility of parents, like, okay, so let me go ahead and make sure that they are online so I can go ahead and they're working from home, if they have something to do, we're there to give the instructions. So that kind of alleviates a lot of the stress done by parents. And then also, um, what will happen is if a student needs to have extra help, we have Fridays where um, we can give them more one on one attention. So, a question was just asked. So, my kid will only go to school for 4 days. So, how our schedule is worked is that we have live instruction on Monday through Thursday, and they meet at different times. So if your child is a early riser, loves to get things done first thing in the day, we have the morning classes, and then we have also evening classes for some of our scholars who likes to kind of sleep in and do their best work in the evenings. Now, what we do on that fifth day is that's where we go ahead and do what we call office hours. So that's when the child they need more one-on-one attention, the scholar in the family will make an appointment with that teacher that they have, and so we can go more of a deep dive. If the child doesn't need that deep dive during that day, then what we can do is just go ahead and make sure that their lessons are good and they can go ahead and just have fun for that day. We want the child to be able to be a kid and have that experience like other kids would normally do in homeschool. And we encourage our families and our students to go out, be involved in the community, go explore outside, be one with nature, go on hikes, and have hands on learning that way. So I have a wonderful question that came up. Does TerraSchola take care of transcript and providing all the curriculum? Yes, we do. So that's one of the things that's kind of really good about us is that we handle all the transcripts. We will handle recording of attendance and provide all that. So if a something situation where they're getting ready to graduate and it needs to be recognized, or we need to get that to that's child's school district or the state to make sure that we are following the guidelines. We provide all that. There's no extra stress for the parent. And we also provide the curriculum as well. So, and our curriculum will be nationally recognized. One of the curriculums that we are using is IXL. And that way, it lots of schools in the nation and looks over at that. So we are using that. These are great questions. Thank you so very much for asking them. All right. One question was, what kind of setup does the parents need to have in order to participate in TerraSchola? So, what we just ask for the families to have is a working computer that has high functioning internet. We provide the platforms and the curriculum and everything that goes on there, and we also provide training on that. I know a lot of people when COVID happened and there was virtual schooling, all of a sudden everybody just stopped what they were doing, stopped in person, and just threw, okay, virtual schooling on everyone. There was a lot of hesitation. There was a lot of like issues with involving that, mostly because there was a lot of people that wasn't trained on how to give instruction online and how to use online technologies for education. And so, what we would do is one, all our teachers are going to be trained and know how to use the knows how to do the virtual platforms and knows how to give virtual instruction. And the parents and scholars are going to know how to do that as well. So we will have all that taken care of. Are any books and materials provided? So all our books and materials are going to be virtual. Now, if a scholar is having issues, let's say we have a first grader and they're having issues with handwriting, and of course, it's kind of hard to make sure that they're doing the handwriting really well on a virtual platform. What we would do is we would provide that for the family. So if there's no out of pocket for the family, once they pay tuition, we will handle that to make sure that they are getting what they are needing. Socialization is something we're concerned with. Would there be opportunities for my child to interact with students who are enrolled in the same classes, either online or possibly even in person if they're local to me? Yes. So, how our virtual setup would be. So, let's say our schedule is Monday, we have reading ELA and we have social studies. Okay, so there has a block between the two. So we have an hour block for ELA and an hour block for social studies. Now during that time, there we're having live classes. If the teacher if the class is wrapping up and they're not using the full hour, that's extra time for the kids to work together in small groups online. And then also we have what we call group time in between those. So they have supervised interaction online. So that way we make sure that everybody's being able to participate and following digital citizenship and digital safety measures online and interacting with one another. Also, we will have times that we want to have in-person events. So if we have a cluster of students in a certain area, we're going to schedule times where we can do a meet and greet opportunity. So that way they can interact with each other on in person and build that community amongst each other. We're also partners with Spiral Scouts International, and they also will provide awesome opportunities for scholars and anybody to come in and basically learn how to be stewards of the earth. They provide a wonderful platform to where they build community and build leaders amongst themselves. So we have wonderful opportunities for scholars to interact with each other both online and in person. Does the school offer extracurricular activities? So, like I said, we partner with Spiral Scouts and they do their activities, but we do offer that as part of already ingrained into our tuition. So that way, if parents want to have extra stuff for their child, they can go ahead and do that. When it comes to any opportunities for where we are talking about PE, if we're talking about things like that, we encourage parents to um, look at other resources, and we can help provide resources as well, like look for those in those areas, like with their local parks and recreations, and to make sure they are meeting certain guidelines that the state usually has to offer, like PE, and see if they match. So that's kind of how we do extracurricular. So our main focus is the mainstream academics right now, like math and reading and social studies and science. And we are going to try to offer through certain areas. IXL has a wonderful foreign language program, so we will also offer that, and also computer science. So any extracurricular activities such as PE, we will help find those for that scholar. Thank you so very much for these questions. Okay, let's see. So one of the questions that was brought up is, can you explain the role of the teachers in at TerraSchola's environment, virtual environment, and how it kind of helps homeschool participants? So again, we provide live instructions to make sure that the students have that one-on-one interaction, not just like um, amongst the teacher, but also amongst their peers. We want others children to learn from each other, so we provide that. Like I said, when there's opportunities that arrive to, like, let's say I'm teaching a subject, I'm teaching social studies, and I found a great exhibit that's going to be offered at some of my students' area. I'm going to go ahead and provide that information to the family so they can go and have that interactive experience, hands-on experience with each other. So we kind of go ahead and not only provide live instruction, but we also provide safety when it comes to students being online and making sure that we are following correct protocols, that nobody's going to pop in that they're not supposed to make sure that we have those safety measures in place, and also any opportunities for students to be interactive in their own community. There was the one that popped up. Is there any specific requirements for parents who want to enroll their students? I work full time, but I want to pursue homeschool. Yes. So our big requirements is that there needs to be a parent in home or with the scholar, because we don't want to have parents just leave their kids by themselves, especially if they're not of age. So we do have a requirement of that there needs to be an adult 18 years or older with the child while they're doing virtual learning. And but we also give the flexibility. So if parents are working and they want to have the homeschool requirement and stuff like that, to have that experience, we provide the live instruction, and we make sure that, hey, the scholar is being taught the materials that they need to be taught. So that kind of relieves a lot of stress. One popped up. I worry that my child will struggle with virtual, especially if there's a lot of kids. Do you know what the average class size would be? So each teacher will have about 30 students. Okay, that's usually what certified teachers are required during this type of environment. And what we're trying to do is also make sure that the class sizes are small. So that's why we also offer morning and evening blocks. And so we don't want to have too many on one teacher. So if me and another teacher are working together, at the very most, depending on the age, that's the other criteria. So our older kids, we can get by with 15 in classroom, but with our younger kids, we really just kind of want about 5 in classroom at a time, just to make sure that they're getting that attention that they're needing. But we don't want to go past those numbers too much. We want to make sure that the class sizes are small so there's not too many distractions during lessons, but they're also having that interactions with one another. These are great questions. Again, thank you so very much for asking them. Let's see. Is there any more popped up on my end? One of the questions is what is our official stance on standardized testing? So we encourage our families to look at their state's requirements over state testing. Each state has something different require on that. If your state does not require yearly state testing, we're good. But if your state does, we will go ahead and look and see what testing is required and how you can get access to that testing to make sure that you are meeting those state requirements. What type of technology I need? Basically, PC, laptop, Mac, whatever you and your family are comfortable with, and we need really good internet. We don't really want too much lag, but basically internet and a computer. If there's any other special things that would need, that's actually coming out of the school's budget. So again, kind of like the situation, if we see something that the child may need or, our class may need, we will provide that and make sure that it's good. But we will set up to make sure that we will be using Microsoft Teams as a platform. So we'll be making sure that our students have access to that, and any type of curriculum like IXLs or Nearpod or anything that we're doing, we provide that for the scholar. Thank you so much for that question. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to see what other questions are popping up on other social media sites. Okay, if we enroll with TS, would they take care of everything like a traditional umbrella school, or do I need to report to my local district? Yes, TerraSchola would take care of everything that a traditional school would, like an umbrella school. So again, transcripts, attendance, making sure that we are providing the curriculum, if they need to see any lesson plans, any scoring that needs to be done, grades, everything, we will take care of that. It's a lot different than like independent homeschool situations where that family who is doing that will have to report directly to the district. You won't have to do that with us. We will take care of everything. So again, it alleviates the stress that independent homeschooling could have. But for us, we want to make sure that we have a nice, easy environment, relaxed environment. So we're giving instruction, we're providing instruction that's required by the state. We require the most states require at least 1,000 hours. So we have broken up the schedule of making sure that we are meeting that for the families and providing that information if anybody needs to be able to look at that and say, hey, are they meeting the requirements for them to be homeschooled situation? So we will provide that. Thank you again so much for asking that question. I appreciate that. See? And for any other information that you may need or any things that may pop up after this live interaction with us through Facebook Live or any of our interest meetings, please do not hesitate to reach out to us at our website at terraschola.us. You can always, we have a contact form. You can go ahead and ask questions there and reach out, or you can find us on social media on Facebook and Instagram and any of our social media platforms. You can also reach us out on TerraSchola, but you can also reach us out at Facebook and Instagram, and we'd be more happy to answer any of your questions. And also on there, it